Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about how to be more calm. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm inspired. I'm inspired.
Greetings, Flow Jedis. How's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking all about how to be more calm, okay? Well, first of all, it's really nice to be around nature like this, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a nice vibe to be around nature. That's the first thing, man. Get yourself out and communicate with nature because these things are alive, bro. We just don't pay attention to that. But I'm sure they're listening to every word, every vibration that's coming out of my mouth right now. And they have their own way of interpreting that. What's the harm in thinking like this? In understanding that we might have a connection to these plants because they're also a part of the earth. I don't think that's too hyper shamanic to think about. Anyway, greetings guys. My name is Sumedh Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach. That means I help you feel better and perform better. We're doing the Bali retreat for 3 days in November. I'm thinking the tentative dates are the 16th to the 18th. So if you haven't gotten the tickets to come in live or online, shoot me a message and we'll get you started. How to stay calm, okay, how to stay chill, how to be more zen. I get this question quite a lot from people. Well, first of all, you gotta open up your luggage. What do I mean by that? All the baggage from your past, you gotta open that up. The different zips, the different compartments of luggage that you're carrying. There's no baggage on Kundalini Airlines. There's no baggage on Kundalini Airlines. You get what I'm saying? So that's why you gotta throw out all the gunk, all the stuff that does not need to be there or belong. Do I really need this emotion? Right? Ask yourself that question. Do I really need this emotion? Why is it still there then? If I don't need it, okay? Does it make me feel safe? Who would I be without that emotion? Flomo Sapien is the program. If you're interested in going from one layer to another layer, in terms of the levels of consciousness, but also clearing all the different traumas that are in the different chakra systems, basically. But basically cleaning up the trauma that's stuck in your system so we can create a pathway, a flow state, almost elixir that's clean. Then from there we can manifest a lot better. So it's 8 weeks. Reach out if you're interested. So chilling, relaxation is all about non-attachment, okay? Non-attachment meaning non-reactivity, okay, as well. So not personalizing things. A lot of people personalize different things that happen, right? They make it all about me, whereas it's meant to be a we, okay? We, monsieur. So you're not personalizing your negative self. You're also untriggered, okay? You're untriggered, you're unagitated about anything. Like nothing can get under your skin, if that makes sense. And the way you do this is you stop personalizing, right? You stop making other people's storylines enmeshed in your storyline. Okay, that's what happens to a lot of people is they make other people's storylines a part of their own and it starts to enmesh. And that's when we start getting, their friends are your friends, their interests are your interests. And we start getting this weird codependent concoction, right? That starts happening in a relationship. So we really gotta also differentiate our interests and, our friendships and things like this if we want to maintain a solid sense of space and building boundaries and things like this, right? Also, to be chill, you're gonna have to still be expressive, okay? So if it doesn't mean with words, it can also mean with body language, okay? What would the calmest, most comfortable me in the living room? How would I be chilling right now? Get into that as a thought experiment right now. How would I be right now at my most comfortable at my living room? And now let's put you on stage and give you a microphone. Now you start speaking. Now you start speaking. You see, from this state, now you're so comfortable. You're just so energized as well because you feel safe. It's your own home. And that's you forgiving yourself, you not abandoning yourself. You get what I'm saying? Well, the chill archetype or the calm person, they're representative of something in culture. They can obviously be misrepresented as being a slacker or being a moron or things like this. However, those are negative imprints of this archetype. Then we also have the cool, calm, casual, collected guy, right? The one who's not giving so much effort to try to get to the top or show that he's the man because he knows he's the man. He doesn't need to even show it. There's a vibe underneath that, right? It's symbolic of something. It's almost archetypal, right? Or archetypical, whatever you want to call it. So you want to play with this coolness and this warmth, coolness and this warmth. That's the temperature, that's the homeostasis, you get what I'm saying? That's your body regulating itself as you're speaking. You don't want to be too warm and too friendly, and you don't want to be too cold either. It's a maintenance of both of those levels, and within that framework, there's also strictness, which is authority and sovereignty, and the opposite of that, which is a playfulness. Okay, a jovial playfulness, almost like a childlike playfulness. And this code that I'm giving you right now, it has helped me in so many situations where I'm applying my charisma, right? Where I'm trying to get better. But without this model in my mind, I would get very skewed on what to do next. So I play in between the edges of this circle that is built, right? So coolness and warmth, strictness and playfulness. And I just visit each like a different planet, but I am homeless, meaning that I do not land on any planet. I'm just weaving around this matrix. And that's what makes you feel so calm and cool and collected. But it's also an alertness, right? It's like alpha waves. If you guys know about different brain waves, alpha waves are also known as relaxed wakefulness. So you're kind of basically relaxed within your beingness, but at the same time, your mind is active. It's very alert. So you know exactly what's going on around you, right? You're kind of hyper aware. You have this panoramic vision, right? So you use this kind of Hakalau effect, which a lot of Native Americans and ancient cultures also use, which is basically you're using your peripheral vision. So if you put your arm out like this and you start doing this with your fingers, right? Can you perceive that? And you want to practice that, okay? Because that can really calm you down because you're not focused in on one point. You're also not imprinting all of your energy into that one point. It becomes more dissipated, your attention. So you have more of a soft gaze, and that's why your eyes are kind of calm, like Shiva's eyes, right? They're kind of calm. They're not up like this. They're not super, overexerting pressure with the eyes. It's that Clint Eastwood kind of, It's that, there's something there. We got to still explore it, but you guys get what I'm talking about, right? You understand that intuition is two words, in and tuition, right? So tuition is almost like a place where you learn, right? You get a tutor. So what is an in-tutor, which means that, a tutor in your internal world? It helps you trust what is already within you, right? It helps you trust what is already within you, which means you having faith in the Lord and the spiritual master and your own faculties and your own pathway. That's all you need to get that Vedic knowledge in your mind. As you accept that into your reality, you start getting the signs automatically from it because it's like the path has chosen you and you get these different downloads or imprints, being etch-a-sketched onto you as you're walking down your own spiritual pathway and these different gateways that open, right? And I'm fascinated by, that subconscious mind edge. Like, who is the one guarding the door of the subconscious mind, I wonder. And I want to meet that man. I believe it is Janus, the god of doorways. However, it could be wrong, okay, in my deduction. So whatever that is, that gatekeeper, I want to meet that gatekeeper because that's the one letting in all the rubbish. And I got to speak to that guy and be like, listen, you're my bodyguard. Like, you got to understand everything you know about me and know that, like, I'm here to survive. I'm a survivor and you're going to help me survive. So you better have my values as well. You better understand what I'm about. And now you have a different relationship built with your subconscious mind. You see, it's a lot more calmer because it's like a friend to friend based relationship with your subconscious mind. You're not putting it up on a pedestal. You're not looking down on it. You get what I'm saying? You're not doing one or the other, man. It's like you have full trust in this system that it's going to take you where it needs you to go. You're on energy preservation and maintenance mode. You're not overexerting. You want to be more in control and feel more in control to allow cruise control to come through. Okay, listen to that back because that's a powerful anecdote. You want to feel more in control to allow cruise control to come through. Okay, so sometimes you gotta go slow to go faster. Does that make sense? You're creating these time warps with your own psychological time, right? Because once you're in the flow state, you become the time bandit. You steal time, basically, right? Because you are so in the pocket that time stands still. It almost feels frozen in this state, this flow state, right? So you become the time lord, the time bandit, the Doctor Who of this generation, right? You start to time travel. This is the point in the video where people start to question my sanity. Like they're going, wait a minute, is he talking about time travel and aliens? And the next thing you know, like I'm a guest on Gaia speaking or something like that. I don't even know, but that'd be wild, huh? So one thing that I use to calm myself down when I'm really angry is I like to talk in different voices. I make my inner voice or my inner critic into different voices, and I speak in different accents. So it helps me to, I guess, that helps me to frequency hop because I'm also a bit clairaudient in a sense. I hear, different things coming through, and so that really helps me, man. It's just speaking to myself in different voices that really calms me down because it also reminds me of childhood when I used to watch cartoons, okay? Now that's a personal factoid about me, man. And, there's something so nostalgic about cartoons, man, that I can't really get into because that's how I learned English. That's how I learned how to live. I got the datums and the codes and the values from those different shows without me even knowing it because we would binge watch this stuff as kids, right? And now I think back to it and I'm thinking, man, it's been there this whole time, man. They want me to be like this Ken character almost, right? This Barbie and Ken archetype, but I'm not going for that. Okay, so slowly you're gonna see my archetype change in front of your eyes. And that's an empowering effect too. When you're calm, when you're chill, you understand how to maintain your vibe. You almost allow yourself to be in this bubble of hope. This entire bubble of hope. So once you get angry, put on a video camera like this and start just yelling, swearing, going fucking off the wall crazy, right? Yelling at the camera, like swearing at the camera. And you'll start to notice the more you start to exaggerate your anger, you'll start to feel silly after a certain point. There is a point of ludicrousness, a point of ridiculousness. That's gonna make you laugh. So you're transmuting the anger up in its vibration. You allow yourself to exaggerate it to a comical level where you start to laugh at it. And that's when the release happens, the ha ha, right? The laughter is the release that lets it go. So that's one thing that I've found is really helpful. The second thing that I would tell you is you have way too much responsibility that is not meant for you. You're taking on added responsibility out of nowhere, and that's why you feel extra stressed. So that's why you want to feel more calm, okay? Now, this is my advice on this. I want you to say this out loud as you do this, okay? I want all responsibility that is not meant for me to fall away right now. And then as you exhale out, your shoulders go up and then down, okay? Because the shoulders are representative of responsibility because we're holding up the world in a sense. That's kind of how you want to depict it. It's like that Hanuman strength. All responsibility that is too much for me and is not meant for me must fall away now. All responsibility that is too much for me or is not meant for me must fall away now. All responsibility that is too much for me or not meant for me must fall away now. Okay? And you keep doing this and you gain that momentum and that leverage, and you'll feel a relief, like a pressure off your shoulders, okay, kind of effect, which is funny that, you know, that's what the metaphor sounds like. It is pressure off the shoulders, right? It's like a whew. I was carrying around some baggage that I didn't know that I had, and now that the baggage is gone, I feel lighter, I feel more up, or more uplifted, right? I don't know what these guys are doing, man. Are they like inventing their own language, or are they imitating a dog? Like, what's going on there, bro? Anyway, I'm not too worried about that. You see, I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. Okay? Like a valet, like a Bollywood valet. I'm chilling like a Bollywood villain. Come on now. Come on now. All my Desi boys know what's up. All my Desi boys know what's up. It's time for the takeover, where we take over. So when you're speaking to someone, man, just think in your mind, give them a chance. Let's give them a chance. I don't know what they're gonna say. Let's remove that, premonition that, oh, I'm gonna speak to them and they're gonna say this exactly the same thing and I know exactly what they're gonna say. Because then we create that expectation and then that reality happens. So instead you ask yourself, let me give them a chance. Let me see what they have to say fully before I interrupt them. Then you listen more, you have more cues for the datums that then becomes easier to solve sometimes. So they might reveal something that is very pivotal in the logical argument of whatever they're saying, right? So you gotta keep listening. And then of course there's genuine empathy, man, which is just like, how would I feel in their situation? I wouldn't feel too good about myself, okay? If I thought like that, if I looked like that, if I did those things, I would not feel good. And so maybe it's just about getting to that connection with others and being like, yo, this guy just needs some cheering up. Like life has been so tough to him that he hasn't fully matured yet because he hasn't gotten those compliments yet, that validation yet, that feeling that I am good enough, the feeling that, I can move forward, that I am worthy. But you can give that to yourself, just like you are your own parents, in a sense. You got to get to that point of autonomy, right, in your own life where you're like, man, I'm really taking care of myself, huh? I'm really taking care of myself, huh? Wow, right? And that becomes a beautiful experience in life when you can just let go like that and just trust in yourself and trust in your beingness, man. I'm so freaking glad that I'm starting to love the character that I'm slowly formulating, Not that I don't love myself, I love myself tremendously, but there's levels to this, man. There's levels to this journey, and that's what you gotta understand. Each and every day, we keep evolving, we keep getting better, and that's the upward spiral, gang. In the community, subscribe, you already know what the dealio is. You already know what the dealio is, okay? And I used to, live in Bennington, of all places, bro, for like 4 years, okay? That's like where Courage the Cowardly Dog lives or some shit, you know what I mean? Like in Vermont, in the middle of nowhere, with 700 hippie-ass, hipster kids who didn't know what the fuck was going on, and neither did I. But it was great, it was fantastic, because I got to experience that liberal architecture and just that world of like almost living like I'm on a fairy tale kind of, you know, and that adapted and splurged my fantasy and my fantastical realms in my mind even more and even further. So I was meant to go there. I was meant to be like this poetic being, this water being, right? Who's the water Pokemon type or whatever, who's meant to come in and you know, grant 3 wishes or something like the Chatter Genie. Anyway, I'm about to head out. Guys, have an incredible day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary. Let's get it, Upward Spiral Gang.